Hey guys, it's Bree. So in today's video we are going to be doing finally filming my March and April wrap up. I have been meaning to film this for a while. I just haven't had time to do either of my wrap ups, so we're finally going to be doing it today. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. We're going to of course start with my March books. I ended up reading 5 books in March, and we're just gonna go through them really quickly. I don't remember the order I read them in, to be honest, so we're just gonna pick one up and talk about it. So the first one I ended up reading was Elle Kennedy's The Legacy. This is It Is Chewed Up, we'll ignore that. This is the final book in the Off-Campus series. So this one is basically a collection of short stories following all of the couples. I enjoyed reading it. I really did. I really liked getting back into I really enjoyed getting back into and reading more stories from our couples, but I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't necessary. It wasn't like my favorite book of all time. I enjoyed it. It was for entertainment wise. The short stories themselves, to be honest, it took me a while to get into this book because, like I said, it was a little bit boring. It was a little bit boring, and in my opinion, it didn't really need to be written, but like I said, it's good. It's good. It's a good little read, so I ended up enjoying it nonetheless. Then I ended up reading All This Twisted Glory by Tara Moffey. I've been saying this is a trilogy this whole time. Apparently it's not. Apparently there's another book coming out, but this is the 3rd book in this Woven Kingdom series. I absolutely loved getting back into this world because I love this story. I love the world. I love the characters. I will say this though. I felt like this book was a little bit more of a filler book going into the next one, because there were some moments that happened here, there were some events that happened, but at the same time I felt like it wasn't dragging on, because I did enjoy reading this in general. I loved what was happening, but I felt like there wasn't like a big thing that was happening in this book that had my jaw dropping really. But like I said, nonetheless, I really enjoyed this series so far. I'm really excited for the next book to come out, and we'll see what happens in general. I don't want to say anything really because this is the 3rd book in the series, so I don't want to spoil anything. So you'll just have to read and find out what happens next. We ended up reading Love Theoretically by Ellie Wood as well, which this book has been on my TBR probably the longest out of every other book in this damn bookshelves, and I loved every second of it. I loved this book so much. It was so good. Probably my favorite Ali Hazelwood book. I was to say that probably my favorite Ali Hazelwood book of all time now. I loved these two characters together. I loved it so much. I think it was easier to read as well because I've been reading a good amount of, like I said, I love Ali Hazelwood books. I've been understanding her writing a little bit more, so this one was really easy to get through. I loved Elsie. I loved Jack. I loved the story and everything like that. It was so good. I really did love it. Then we ended up reading The Tattoos of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. This one is based off a true story, and it is historical. Of course, it's like historical fiction and everything like that. I did enjoy reading it. I will say I did enjoy the story. I always enjoy reading about historical events. Is one of my things to read. I'm a big history nerd. I will say this one I didn't love as much. I felt like I needed more detail in this one. I think it's because it's a little bit shorter. We didn't get as much detail as I would have liked. I enjoy detail in historical books. I enjoy detail. I enjoy emotion. I enjoy like you actually like seeing the research going into it and stuff like that. I liked it, but it wasn't like my favorite historical book. But I enjoyed my reading time with it. And then lastly, I ended up reading Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerri Maniscalco. This is the 1st book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, and I absolutely loved this book in general. So we follow Aubrey Rose in here, and she is the apprentice to her uncle, who is a morticianer, and you basically see her investigating these murders that are believed to be killed by Jack the Ripper, which I thought it was very interesting how Kerri Maniscalco literally took something as big as a real life serial killer and turned it into something like this, an historical fiction murder mystery. It was crazy. It was really well written in my opinion, and I really liked it, and I really enjoyed the characters as well. She's doing something that when she's a woman which is not something in her field to be doing, and 2, it's a practice that's really frowned upon. So I loved everything about her really standing up for what she wants and what she does in her practice, because she's really good at what she does in her practice. And I love Thomas. Thomas was becoming my number one, guys. And yeah, like, I love this book. I loved it so much that I did end up reading, you know what, let's just go into it. I did end up reading the second book in April. This is Hunting Prince Dracula. This one we follow them going to Romania. I don't want to say too much because there's not really big spoilers going into this one, but I will say this, if you haven't read the first book, I would skip over this part. But she ends up going to Romania to basically attend a school there for practitioners and stuff like that, and murder starts to happen. So she's doing her investigation, all that stuff. I absolutely love this book. It took me a little bit more to actually get into this one compared to the first one, but when I did, I loved it. I was shook by everything that happened in this book. The ending shook me. Everything was crazy. I love it, and I cannot wait to read the third book, because I do have the whole series. The next one is Escaping Houdini, which they're going to America, so we'll see how that ends up working. But I did love this book. I really did enjoy it, and it's a series that I really recommend right now, especially if you like historical books like I do. I love historical fiction, but also a good murder mystery. It's really good. I really enjoy it. And then onwards to the rest of my April TBR, I ended up reading Ground Zero by Alan Grant. This book, I will say, Alan Grant does this thing wherever he has different storylines, but they interconnect in different ways, and he does it really well with this one as well. So this one, of course, is a 9/11 novel. So we follow 2 timelines. We follow 9/11 in New York, and then we follow September 11th, 2019 in Afghanistan. So I really enjoyed this book. It was such a heartbreaking book a little bit. I did cry. I did get a little teary eye around this because, like I said, historical fiction, historical novels in general will make you cry, especially like historical events as big as these. They're gonna make you cry no matter what. So I did end up tearing up with this one, but I really did like it. I really enjoy it. And like I said, Alan Grant's writing is very easy, simple to read, and it goes by very fast as well. So I really do recommend his novels if you want to get into like historical books. He's really good, and he's a middle grade author, so they, like I said, they're easier to read and everything like that. Then we ended up reading Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu's The Lost Book of the White. This is the same book in the Eldest Curses. I really did enjoy this book because I love Magnus and Alec in this book a little bit more. I don't want to say anything too much because I don't want too much of a spoiler, but I will say this. I felt like this duology, a lot of these books will fall and feed into the timeline of all her other books. That's why, in my opinion, if you want to invest in them, I would say invest in them. This duology, in my opinion, was very lackluster. It wasn't my favorite. I enjoyed my time reading it, but I felt like they were kind of boring. But they do kind of set up a little bit more of that timeline going into the next book. I did love the ending, though. The ending was so cute. At least the bonus story was so cute, and we do see some of our favorite characters in this book as well. So I did enjoy it, but I feel like her main series are the best in my opinion. Next, we ended up reading Travis by Mia Sheridan. So this one, if you've read Archer's Voice, you know who Travis is. You know who this man is. This man is trash. I do not like Travis. I hated him in that book. I actually like this book. I hate to say it, guys. I actually really like this book. I thought it was really good. I think Haven is the one who basically probably saved this for me, because I think without Haven, I would have hated this book. Travis, I will say, he redeemed himself. He had his redemption, everything like that, but I still hate the man. But I did really enjoy this book. I really did like it. And I think also what saved this is seeing Archer, Bree, and their kids in here as well was so sweet, so cute. And I will say this, I should have said this in general, that's a little bit more of a spoiler. I didn't think about that, sorry guys, but I really did enjoy this book nonetheless. Then I ended up rereading A Broken Blade by Melissa Blair. I am currently reading the audiobook to A Shadow Crown. I'm almost done with it, but I'm really enjoying that as well. I really did enjoy this reread. I really, really like this series so far. It is, I believe, a trilogy. It's called the Halfling Saga. I'm still waiting on getting the last book because, as you can see, these two are special editions. They are Booksbox special editions, which means they take 3,000 years to get to you. And they still have yet to announce if they're doing one for, I think it's called A Vicious Game, which I'm hoping they do so that I have a matching set, because if not, I will riot. I will literally riot with that one. But I really do love this series, and I really do really want to read the last book. Like I said, I'm almost done with this one, and I know I'm going to want to jump into the last one, which I can read it in audio. Of course I can, and just get the other book later on, but you know what, I like it physically. I like to have it physically in my hand, even though I don't read it physically. But anyways, like I said, I really enjoyed this one. But also for a reread, so this was actually on my TBR for May, but I ended up reading it at the end of April instead because I really wanted to reread it, and that's Daughter of the Pirate Queen by Trisha Levenseller. Again, love this book, absolutely loved it. I will say I did love this reread as well, because it refreshed my memory about a lot of stuff that happened in this book that I did not remember. But I loved it either way, and I cannot wait to reread the second book too, so I can finally get into The Vengeance of the Pirate Queen, because that is one of my most anticipated reads, so I need to read that as well. But anyways, guys, so that is the end of this wrap up. So I'm just gonna give you my favorite books of each month, which is gonna be very hard because I felt like these two are tied for the month of March. Oh no. Love Theoretically and Stalking Jack the Ripper are probably my top two favorite for March. And then for April, it probably will be Hunting for Dracula, to be honest. And then also Travis. But either than that, guys, that is my March and April wrap up. I'm so sorry it took me so long to get this to y'all as well. Like I said, I just haven't had time to actually sit down and film. But now that I've sit down and film, I can finally put these on my red shelf, get them done with, so that we can continue on with our reading and stuff like that. I do also have a book haul for y'all. I've been doing some more book shopping. Do not come for me, but we will be doing that haul soon. I will see y'all guys in the next video. I love you so much. Bye bye.